I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. There's another paid request, this time from Marv B. Thank you so much for that. If anyone's interested in any other requests, topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, or anything random, anything at all, feel free to send either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. And this is for, like I said, Marv B. on the film Closer from 2004. I'll just say right off the bat, I was not a fan of this movie. I'm sorry. I know it got a lot of critical praise. It got Academy Award nominations for some of the acting. Clive Owen, supporting actor, he was the best part of the movie. I would say his character was the most interesting to me. And I would say that's the big positive I take away is Clive Owen is worth a watch for his character. Natalie Portman, I don't see why she got an Oscar nomination for this. I don't even hate Natalie Portman, but Oscar nomination for this film, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I mean, she's more aloof or just... Aloof might not even be the right word. It's a romantic drama about relationships and how one person fucks over the other and this kind of four-way love story. Because Natalie Portman has his red hair, meets up with Jude Law, who looks like Harry Potter at the beginning. He looks like a grown-up Harry Potter. Natalie Portman gets hit by a car. Jude Law helps her to the hospital. You get lines of dialogue. Don't eat fish. Why? Because fish piss in the sea. Thanks for the info. Good to know, movie. They talk. And this movie jumps ahead years just like that. That literally takes me a minute or two to go, well, wait a minute. Are we in the next scene? Or we're a year later? Because you get no clue. Like, they're talking. Boom. It's been... Now, Jude Law is with Julia Roberts, who is a photographer. And... Oh, yeah, you wrote a book. You wrote a book about her. How's it been? I'm like, how the hell did you write a book with her? He just met her 5 minutes ago. Wait, it's been a year? Literally, boom, like that, we're a year later. Okay, thank God you put that info in there. I wouldn't have... It's not like it says 1 year later or 7 months later. Even that stuff kind of helps with the viewer. Sorry, Mike Nichols. And this is the guy who did The Birdcage. This is the guy who did The Graduate with Dustin Hoffman. And this is one of my least favorite films of his. Because you're not supposed to care about most of these characters, but the only interesting character is Clive Owen. So you get 4 unlikable characters, but at least Clive Owen is an interesting, unlikable character. Because Natalie Portman is just lets, for the most part, lets people just walk over the fuck over her. Julie Roberts is a two-timing bitch. Jude Law is just a complete other fucking asshole. Just Jude Law, even though he's with Natalie Portman, seduces Julie Roberts' photographer and they kiss. Natalie Portman overhears them and is crying while Julie Roberts takes the picture. Then, boom, I guess we're sometime later, and Jude Law, he randomly likes to get on London sex hotlines and flirt with men. So Jude Law is pretending to be a woman, saying, trying to seduce a guy. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And the guy he's seducing online is Clive Owen, who's a dermatologist. But he's doing it as a prank to get the guy to some aquarium thing. But I thought it was a prank to get him to Julie Roberts to fuck with her. But then when Julie Roberts tells him later, Jude Law seems shocked. I guess shocked that they went on a date, and just what happens is Clive Owen is sent to the aquarium. There's Julie Roberts, and then she goes, I think you were a victim of a prank. And then boom, it's months later, 4 months later, and they've been dating. Clive Owen and Julie Roberts. I guess Jude Law didn't expect that to happen. Just, haha, this guy. I'm like, okay, how the fuck does that affect if you're playing a prank because of, to fuck with her? Doesn't really affect her much, affects the guy more. And wouldn't Julie Roberts then tell the guy who you are and where you work, and the guy would come to beat the fuck out of you? But I guess Jude Law doesn't care about that, so I'm like, well, okay, whatever. And just this jumping of all this timeline, it seems abrupt and it seems off-kilter to me. That so many times I'm like, okay, are we a month later? Are we a day later? Or are we a year later? And I keep on my toes to listen to the fucking dialogue. Guess that's the point. So then Clive Owen and Julie Roberts are together, but then Julie Roberts, even though it's been 4 months, she's not happy with Clive Owen for some reason. You're like the cat that got the cream. You can't stop licking itself. I'm like, you're mad that the guy loves you? In a weird way, I say Clive Owen's unlikable, but he was the most likable guy of the four, honestly. Because Natalie Portman fucking knows this is going on. She just lets it happen. She just lets it fucking happen. Like a goddamn doormat. Julia Roberts goes, he's with Clive Owen, even marries Clive Owen, but then she goes off and fucks Jude Law. And says, oh, I'm in love with him. Natalie Portman, she's like, what the hell? This was based on a play, and I could fucking tell. And I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of plays. I'm more a fan of movies. Just because I like movies doesn't mean I like a play. This does come off as a play. You can easily see this being done as a play. And that's why the way certain people give their dialogue, there's a bit where, what the hell, like she finds out about the affair, and she's like, I amuse you, but I bore you. Who the fuck talks like this? I amuse you, but I bore you. I'm like, no one fucking talks like this. So it's hard to relate to anything. Maybe you're not supposed to, but okay, great. I'm watching pieces of shits. I can't relate to the pieces of shits. Maybe that's a good thing. And then they're talking like no one I would ever hear talk like this. It comes off stagey, like a play. I'm ready for someone to give a fucking Shakespearean speech. And at least with Clive Owen, I think the best scene is when Clive Owen finds out that Julia Roberts is cheating on him, and he wants as much details as possible. Why? Because he wants her to say it out loud and make her admit that she's the whore that she is. And then Clive Owen ends it with, thank you for your honesty. Now fuck off and die. I thought, alright, Clive Owen. Maybe this character will go off and be fucking Hitman and shoot him up. That's what led him to acting that way. Julie Roberts fucked with his head. No, not really, but... Like I said, Clive Owen, I keep harping on it. He's the best part of this movie to me. He's the most interesting character. Because he's so in love with, his wife, Julia. And there's, but she is with Jude Law now, but he definitely gives her the riot, and she deserves it, which I'm like, yeah, get the bitch. Sees Natalie Portman stripping, a lot of dialogue with that. Then sometime later, Julie Roberts goes up to Clive Owen and wants the divorce papers signed, and he goes, be my whore, I'll give you your liberty. Then no one talks like this, but whatever. Clive Owen is doing his best to sell it. If she sleeps with Clive Owen, he'll sign the divorce papers. Jude Law is... Oh, didn't Julia Roberts talk with Jude Law, and Jude Law finds out that Julia Roberts slept with Clive Owen? And Julia Roberts literally says, don't stop loving me. I can see it draining out of you. Fuck me in the ass with a chainsaw with this fucking dialogue. Seriously? Don't stop loving me? I can see it draining out of you? What, like piss in a toilet? I'm pissed off? God, this dialogue just so fucking flowery and ready for Shakespearean quality. I'm sorry, that's not... No... this dialogue I thought sucked. But it was enough to get love and attention by critics and the award circuit. To each their own. And so Jude Law confronts Clive Owen, and Clive Owen tells him, I fucked her to fuck you up. Which is, I mean, that's what Jude Law deserves, and I don't feel sorry for Julia Roberts. So honestly, Clive Owen, I don't... You know what, honestly, I take that back. Clive Owen I liked. He was the most likable character to me. Being on a sex hotline and the girl's being horny, he goes off, finds out that he's been tricked. He apologizes to Julia Roberts. He's married. He's gung-ho about being married. He's tempted to kiss Natalie Portman, who's there. Doesn't, because loves his wife. Finds out his wife cheated on him. Isn't a fucking pussy. Gives her the riot act. Like, you fucking, where did you fuck? Did you come? Did you do this? To make her embarrassed? To make her say it out loud? To make her feel like a whore? Then he tells her, thank you for your honesty, now fuck off and die? Alright. He's not a fucking pussy. Since the wife is a bitch, goes to a strip club. Guys would. He's conflicted. Misses his wife. And says, fuck you, you fucked with me. I'm going to say this. Yes, I would say the one thing is to go have sex with me and I'll sign the divorce papers. Yes, that is the shady thing. To be fair, but instead of being a wise ass. But I mean, there's all a fucked up situation all around. I guess finally Natalie Portman grows a pair, so to speak, because Jude Law, after finding that out, going through all that, goes back to Natalie Portman. They're having fun in a hotel, and then he keeps asking her about Clive Owen when she was stripping. Did you fuck him as well? And then she pretty much admits that she doesn't love Jude Law anymore. He slaps her, she leaves. And, a lot of the movie's a bunch of miserable people being fucking miserable. And in fact, I was miserable watching the film. That's why I don't care for it. I know you're not supposed to care about the characters, but I don't care about Natalie Portman finally getting back to the U.S. I don't care about the fact that for most of the film she was using a fake name. And the only time she gave her real name was to Clive Owen in a strip club. I don't give a fuck about Jude Law finding that out by finding her real name, or which was her fake name, on a building. Julia Roberts is with Clive Owen, but she doesn't even seem that fucking happy. Or she doesn't know what the fuck she wants. Still doesn't seem like she's in love with Clive Owen. Whatever. She had the divorce papers. She should have just set it out and go live her life. She didn't. So I got Julia Roberts Taylor just came off as a two-time an idiot. Jude Law was just an asshole. Just does whatever the fuck he wants. Natalie Portman's just a doormat. And then don't give a fuck about her standing up for herself at the end. I do give two shits. And Clive Owen, I was just waiting for Clive Owen to come back on screen. Really? So yeah, this was not my cup of tea. This wasn't my kind of movie. I'm sorry to Marv. This just wasn't for me. I think it's overrated. I think the dialogue is just so fucking... This is a dialogue to try to make critics cream themselves. And it did. Doesn't mean it's for me. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.